Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me. And before we start, I'd like to recommend my first interview with a journalist. Francisco Garcia from Wired magazine interviewed me the other week. And I'll leave the link in the description for you to go and read that interview. It gives a bit more insight into how Scarcity started, why I do it, and stuff like that, and a bit about me as well. And if you have read it, feel free to comment about it as well. And thank you to everyone that has made that possible as well, for the channel to be growing so quickly to become one of the leading independent news sources on YouTube. In this first story today, this is about a robbery gang from Birmingham that has committed 46 robberies in 11 weeks. That's less than 3 months. They targeted lone female drivers in a carjacking spree and also armed robberies as well. They threatened people with knives, hammers and imitation handguns. They've been jailed for over 60 years following a joint investigation by West Midlands Police, Staffordshire and Warwickshire Police. The ringleader was identified as Paul Doyle. He was 41 years old and 22-year-old Luke Mander and Joshua Barrett. They struck between October and December 2018. On one occasion, the ruthless trio threatened a man with a pistol when he tended to his wife's grave in Birmingham. And on another occasion, they held up a heavily pregnant shop assistant at gunpoint during a robbery in Chelmsley Wood. In total, the gang estimated to have stolen £500,000 worth of high-end cars. Paul Doyle of no fixed abode was described by the court as the puppet master who pulled the strings on the younger, impressionable co-conspirators and would encourage them to inflict serious violence on any victim who dared to fight back. Their crime spree began on the 3rd of October when a 51-year-old woman was dragged from her car in Maryland Avenue, Hodge Hill, by 2 masked men who drove off in her Peugeot. 8 days later, a 48-year-old woman was set up by 2 masked men carrying metal poles as they stole her Audi Q5 in Marston Green train station. The men were involved in more violent robberies in October, including carjackings at Dorridge Station, Princess Alice Retail Park in Sutton Coldfield, and Chelmsley Wood Football Club. On the 9th of November, they struck at Norwich Croft, Chelmsley Wood, where CCTV shows the shop assistant, who was 8 months pregnant, cowering on the floor, having been threatened with a WW2-style Lugar handgun, as the gang stole alcohol, cigarettes and cash. On the 4th of December, the Heartless gang sank to new lows, it says, when they pulled a pistol on a 56-year-old man at the graveside in Streatley Crematorium. They failed to start the victim's Nissan GTR as they fled, and dropped a glove as well that was forensically examined by the police and returned a DNA hit to Paul Doyle. The group also travelled to Weston-super-Mare to target a motorbike convention and owners that were staying in caravan parks while attending the event. 2 motorhomes were taken on the 19th of October, and both of them were later recovered, while detectives seized images from Mander's phone showing him posing on a beach with one of the stolen vehicles. So in 2020, the biggest downfall of most people is social media and people needing affirmation to what they're doing. So it's not just good enough to have stuff, you have to show people that you do, or you never really had it. A handbag was stolen from a 35-year-old woman at Chelmsley Town Football Club on the 17th of October, and was also discovered at a car in Weston-super-Mare, while phone analysis showed Mander and Barrett were in the seaside town at the same time. Another crucial breakthrough came on the 27th of November when the driver of a vehicle recovery truck was hijacked at Bassett's Pole by masked men who stole the VW Golf he was transporting. Officers scoured the scene of the offence and recovered a mobile phone dropped by Mander during the scuffle. Mander was arrested by West Midlands Police in the early hours of the 20th of December behind the wheel of a pickup truck stolen 2 days earlier in Redditch, and Doyle was detained the following day. Barrett was detained to an address linked to him in Shirley on the 22nd of November, and when officers searched the home, they uncovered keys to a Mercedes AMG C6 3S taken by robbers armed with a knife and firearms from Toll Cross. On the 8th of November, detectives found more damning selfies as well, showing the men alongside stolen cars, and secured further DNA and mobile phone evidence linking them to the crime scenes across West Midlands, Staffordshire, Warwickshire and West Mercia. year. All three pleaded guilty to conspiracy to steal vehicles and also robberies, but Doyle, shown on CCTV brandishing the pistol in the Solihull raid, admitted firearm offences, with Barrett and Mander suggesting they had no knowledge a gun was to be used. However, a jury told them they were both guilty of conspiracy to possess and possessing an imitation firearm at Birmingham Crown Court on the 10th of March this year. Doyle was given 24 years, Mander, Kingsbury Road, Birmingham, and Barrett from Shirley were handed jail terms of 16 and a half and 18 years. A fourth man, Keir Carter from Erdington, admitted being involved in car thefts at an earlier hearing and was jailed for 3 years. The officer investigating the case said they welcomed the sentences. Doyle was dangerous, erratic, and was prone to violence. He was a convicted armed robber and was only released from prison in July of the same year he started. After spending almost a decade behind bars, he recruited 2 people to carry out offending and orchestrated all the attacks, operating as a puppeteer. And the victims suffered a lot of psychological damage, it says. So this goes to show that fast money does a lot of the time end in a very quick way, and also the need to flash the cash. So I really want to hear what people have to say on this story as well. And I'll be back again a little bit later with some more music and street news. So I really appreciate you joining me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Peace.